Vermont has come a long way over the past decade when it comes to expanding internet and broadband coverage. While stringing cable or fiber optic wire up every last mile is far from complete, things have improved greatly since 2007, when then-Governor Jim Douglas announced the E-State Initiative, designed to bring modern-day communications around the state into the 21st century. But there's still room to grow in many communities that feel underserved. What qualifies as coverage may not be as robust as modern-day standards might call for. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, defines broadband as a minimum of 25 megabits per second download speed and 3 megabits per second of upload speed. Approximately 27% of Vermont addresses lack access to this level of service. Last spring, the state legislature passed Act 79, which provides some funding for planning grants for communities who may wish to explore how to upgrade their service levels. That led to a broadband forum held Friday, November 8th, at the Park House at the Manchester Recreation Park, organized by State Representatives Kathleen James and Robin Chesnut-Tangerman, to hear about some of the options underserved communities might explore. The panel included Representative Laura Sibilia, who was instrumental in getting Act 79 passed into law, Clay Purvis, the Director of Telecommunications and Connectivity for the Department of Public Service, and Stan Williams of EC Fiber, a municipal body with 24 member towns in east central Vermont, who banded together to build a community-owned fiber optic network. Some communities in southern Vermont and in Bennington County may be too rural and too thinly populated to provide private sector cable companies with enough incentive to string cable and fiber optic wire into the remoter corners of town. So taking matters into their own hands might be a way to go. The discussion at the Park House reviewed some options.
What we've seen, what I've seen in about 100 years I've been doing this, is you can put out an RFP to have somebody build your network. You can put out an RFP to have somebody else operate your network.
ValleyNet is working with a couple of other entities and our Regional Planning Commission in Wyndham to look at a region-wide CUD.
And when you say region, would that be
27
Bennington
towns. Well, right now, it's 27 towns.
Okay.
There's no reason why, it couldn't be,
Bigger?
Sure. But so you have to get the town to say yes. So that's where volunteers come into play, right? Like going to the select board, like, hey, we're meeting with this group, we think we can do it, the CUD is formed, it's 4 towns right now, but we think we could join, here's what it would look like. So you start building it, putting it together.
So EC Fiber is 24 towns, and that's key. You need towns. We may do this for other communications unit districts. We're not going to do it for districts that have 1, 2, 3, 4. In Vermont, you need, CV Fiber is 17 towns. It's like 15, 20 towns, because towns will attract the attention of an operator like us or a for-profit operator. We have to be a nonprofit, and it will also attract capital. We've raised $30 million in revenue bond market, and that's a tiny offering. Did it over 3 years. To raise less than that is even more difficult because no one will talk to you. So what the town does, it owns the assets, it issues bonds that are tax-free, which is very helpful in keeping our interest costs down. It takes general policy, like we want it to be net neutral. We want to cover unserved areas first.
We asked Stan Williams after the meeting what was the most challenging aspect to getting EC Fiber going.
It was financing, because there were no state financing vehicles available, there was no federal funds, and people didn't believe our business model. So we went door to door and convinced 500 people to loan us $7 million to get the thing started. Now with the state legislation allowing VITA to loan up to $4 million to these districts, they can skip that step and hopefully get to a point where they have 3 or 4 years of audited financials and stable metrics that will attract private capital or other sources of capital. That was the most difficult thing, was financing.
A task force committee was selected at the end of the meeting to continue pushing the idea forward, and they expect to meet sometime before the end of the month. Representative James gave us her takeaway from the meeting.
Yeah, I thought we were off to a very encouraging start. My goal, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, was simply to get the folks who know about the next best steps into a room with folks who are interested in taking the next best steps. So to see so many people show up and to see them be interested and to raise their hand for a task force, I think is very encouraging. I think that we're going to probably get moving soon on getting some folks together who are going to explore the possibility of applying for a feasibility grant. And if we can bring $60,000 of planning money into our communities to figure out the best way to get folks connected, I'll feel like I've helped out.
For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.